Good morning. I hope your family is safe and well and of good courage. An old professor from Glasgow, Scotland, named MacDonald, along with a Scottish chaplain, bailed out of an airplane behind Nazi lines during World War II. And they were captured and put in a prison camp. A high wire fence separated the Americans from the British. MacDonald was put in with the Americans and the chaplain with the British. Now, what the guards didn't know was that the Americans had a little homemade radio and they were able to get news from the outside, something more precious than food in the camp. And so every day, MacDonald would take the latest headlines to the fence and share it with the chaplain using the ancient Gallic language, which the guards couldn't decipher. And one day, great news came over the little radio. The Nazi high command had surrendered and the war was effectually over. And so MacDonald took the news to his friend, and then he stood and watched him disappear into the British barracks. And a moment later, he could hear a roar of celebration erupting from the barracks. After the news, life in the camp was transformed. Men walked around singing and shouting, and they were waving at the guards, even laughing at the guard dogs. And the Nazi soldiers had no clue as to why this sudden change. When they finally heard the news 3 nights later, they fled into the night, into the dark, leaving the gates unlocked. The next morning, everyone in the prison camp walked out of the camp to forever enjoy their freedom. Now, how many people are there around us who have yet to claim their freedom? In a sense, the war is also over for the Christian. The gates have been unlocked, but many are still walking around in chains, bound by self, bound by the pain of continual failure and frustration. The good news is that the war is over, in a sense. At the cross, Jesus broke forever the power of sin. And he showed us, he proved once and for all that we don't have to live in defeat. Yes, we're still in this world, and yes, we're still waiting for the second coming of Jesus. And yes, there are still battles, but we don't have to live in defeat because Christ has won the war. The gate is unlocked and open. Jesus gives us his spirit to live in us and to empower us to enjoy our freedom. This is just a thought, and I'm Birger Dragitt, pastor of Three Angels Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Wichita, Kansas. Now, what do you say? Do you realize that Jesus Christ has won the victory and that it's no longer your destiny to be captive to sin? As a citizen of God's kingdom, you're free. As the Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And because we are free, because all things have become new, Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Are you willing today to give everything over to him? Even those things that really should go, but you have been holding on to them. There is power and there is freedom available through Christ. Are you willing to claim it?